Today in Cannabis News, the U.S. Commerce Secretary states that federal cannabis policy reform matters are currently not a focus of theirs. After an initial voice vote, the U.S. House of Representatives plans yet again to vote on whether financial institutions that engage with state-authorized cannabis companies should be protected from federal intervention. And a bipartisan group of U.S. House members address a statement to leaders in Congress imploring that a proposal for federal cannabis legalization be considered expeditiously. It's Friday, February 4th, and this is your Trichomes Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the Trichomes.com studios in Southern California, it's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up this week, the U.S. Commerce Secretary within President Joe Biden's administration avoided an interviewer's inquiry about cannabis. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo was questioned on President Biden's inaction thus far on federal cannabis decriminalization in a discussion with a reporter from Politico, as well as on issues expressed by certain stockholders on the economic effect of wide-ranging cannabis policy reform in regards to allowing trade across state lines. Secretary Raimondo claimed that the topic is so far afield from anything that I'm working on, while she's concentrating on different issues such as the nation's distribution and supply chain logistics. Although Raimondo was supportive of cannabis policy reform while serving as the governor of Rhode Island, proponents are disappointed by the evident neglect of federal cannabis reforms, acting as an additional indicator that the Biden administration is not pursuing a subject that is supported across the American public.
Next up, the U.S. House of Representatives will yet again vote on whether financial institutions that engage with state-authorized cannabis companies should be protected from federal intervention. The amendment was accepted initially by voice vote with no dispute in the House, but a roll call vote was sought for official approval. Last week, the Secure and Fair Enforcement Banking Act's proponent, Representative Ed Perlmutter, submitted the contents of his proposal as an amendment attached to the America Competes Act. The House Rules Committee found the bill to be valid this week, indicating that it will be considered by the entire House chamber as part of the wide-scale legislative package focused on science and development in the digital and industrial sectors, with a vote planned for by the end of this week. If passed, it will be the sixth time Representative Perlmutter's cannabis proposal has successfully passed the House chamber. Perlmutter's previous effort to advance the SAFE Banking Act was when it was linked to a major defense package in the House, just to be pulled after bicameral discussions. According to Perlmutter, largely at fault for the failure is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who has stressed that broader cannabis decriminalization, such as a proposal he slated to submit, must occur prior to the Cannabis Financial Services Law update.
Last up this week, a bipartisan group of U.S. House members addressed a statement to leaders in Congress imploring that a proposal for federal cannabis legalization be considered expeditiously. The statement, spearheaded by Representative Marilyn Strickland, calls for deliberations on the Marijuana Opportunity, Reinvestment, and Expungement Act, a proposal championed by House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler, that in 2020 unprecedentedly passed the House and subsequently again cleared Representative Nadler's panel this session, but has not been slated for evaluation on the House floor. The lawmakers are requesting the sweeping cannabis reconstructing while the House is expected to again consider the SAFE Banking Act, a bill aimed to safeguard financial institutions that engage with state-authorized cannabis companies. The bill represents a more incremental approach to federal cannabis policy reform and has passed the House 5 different times. While legislators stated they're disheartened that the Senate did not move forward with the MORE Act following the passage in the House, they said they're optimistic that the bill's reintroduction this Congress indicates progress for descheduling marijuana. That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit trichomes.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Tech and Cannabis, or the International Cannabis Conversation wherever you get your podcasts. For Trichomes.com, I'm RJ Balde.
And I'm Devin Liao. Have a great day.